How are we doing, everybody? We are here to talk about Midway. So I saw a couple of films this weekend, Doctor Sleep and, of course, Midway. I am a huge fan of war movies, especially well-done war movies. And I know that everybody hated Pearl Harbor, but I actually really liked Pearl Harbor. I've seen it several times now. I think the cast is great. I think the fight scenes are great with the planes and the dog fighting and I like that film a lot. And of course, there are also some of the same characters are in here that are in Midway, especially Doolittle, who was played originally by Alec Baldwin, and here it's Aaron Eckhart. So I gotta first say, and this is gonna be a non-spoiler review, but this, you really can't spoil history, so it is what it is. But so the Midway is obviously a true story. It's based on a true story. It's based on true people, but they take little liberties here and there, of course, because they don't know exactly what happened in Japan and everything to that effect. But it goes back and forth between the United States and Japan and how the two sides are plotting against one another. So this has got to be some of the best dogfighting scenes I've ever seen in a film. So if you like dogfighting scenes and air versus sea battles and stuff like that, it's very, very good as far as that's concerned. And it only cost $50 million to make, which I don't know if it's going to make its money back or not, because of course you have to multiply that by practically by 3. So it has to make it $150 million just to break even, or pretty close to that. And it'll be a tough road for that, because I think it only made $17 million this weekend, even though it was number 1. It actually beat out Doctor Sleep. And of course, when I went to see it, the room was pretty full. So the film itself, if you take out the battle scenes, the film is not good. So if you're in the fight scene, the battle scenes, the movie's great. You go to the characterization portion, it's not good. It was directed by Wes Took, but who I don't know what he's done in the past, but Roland Emerich directed. And he's directed, he hasn't done much. He does Colony. That's the director. So the Roland Emmerich, of course, is famous for Independence Day. So his deal was Independence Day. And, of course, it has some of that feel to Independence Day. He's doing some kind of a Stargate thing, A Day After Tomorrow, 10,000 BC, all that stuff. Universal Soldier, that's all Roland Emmerich. So he's got some of the scenes when they're talking and they're traveling at the same time, the green screen is okay on some of that. But my biggest problem was the star. Ed Skrien. So I hope I say his name right. Ed Skrien, yeah. So I just saw him in Maleficent. So he played one of the winged guys who was against everything. Who ended up changing, in his theory about humans and everything else. But because I forgot the name of the prince. The prince basically spared his life. So he was fine in that. He didn't have a whole lot of speaking role in that, but he had this way of talking in Midway. He's talking like this all the time. He's got this thing going with his mouth all the time. It's kind of annoying. He's got this thing going on. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he was completely plastic, and his lines came out as if he was reading a script. It was just he was, he was also in Alita. He played Zapan in Alita. He was great in that. He was great as Zapan, and he didn't do it. Like I said, he didn't do a whole lot in Maleficent, but he was fine in that. But here, he was just a paper doll. And I'm like, what are you doing? Somebody was just like, it's weird, just weird. But anyway, that was my problem with him, is some of the acting just came out very, very wooden. And him especially. Mandy Moore did a great job. She plays his wife. She did a great job. Woody Harrelson totally stands out steals every part, every scene that he's in. If anybody did a great job, it was him. So Dennis Quaid was also in the film, and he came out as a caricature of himself as well. I don't know. I mean, I know he could take it over the top if he wants to, but his character was a little bit over the top. I could stomach him, though, because it's Dennis Quaid. He comes out all right. But Woody Harrelson, of course, and Patrick Wilson. Patrick Wilson was also in it, and Patrick Wilson did okay. You know, he was more of the background kind of character. He wasn't supposed to have a huge personality. He was the guy that knew everything, but nobody listened to him. So, but anyway, the film itself, again, it felt wooden. Except for where the battle scenes took place. And once the battle scenes took place, I was in it. And then, of course, people started talking again, and I was like, oh, here we go again. Oh, poor Ed Skrien. I don't know if that was a directorial thing or if that was a choice that he made. It just didn't work. But anyway, the film itself, I love the action scenes, but I don't know if I would stomach myself. Maybe I'll fast forward through the speaking parts and just see the thing when they come out on DVD. Anyway, it was better than average. It was just like a 6 for me. But that is my review of Midway, and I still like Pearl Harbor better. But anyway, all these people were true life people, so I don't know how much it stuck to true life or history, but overall the story was fine. It was just the acting. All right, have a great one and enjoy your week. Remember to subscribe and hit the little bell button, ding, 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 so you can get an email when I release a new video. All right, see you on the flip side. Thanks, guys.